Hey, what's happening? This is Dizzy Reed from Guns N' Roses and the Dead Daisies, and you're watching Loudwire.
Hey everyone, Gruhamed from Loudwire here. Wikipedia, fact or fiction time once again. Today, my guest, Dizzy Reed of Guns N' Roses and the Dead Daisies. Thank you so much for coming, man.
My pleasure.
Totally
My
appreciate
pleasure.
your time. Thank you for coming. So, scoured Wikipedia, your page, Guns N' Roses, Dead Daisies, other stuff, things about you, things about the bands. So let's prove what's right and what's false, shall we?
Awesome.
Yeah? All right, let's do this thing. First off, let's start simple. You were born Darren Arthur Reed in Hinsdale, Illinois, and you were raised in Colorado.
Fact.
Okay, they're doing well so far. They get that stuff wrong sometimes. Instruments listed are pretty various. There's synthesizers, piano, organ, keyboard, mellotron, guitar, bass, vibraphone, percussion, and vocals.
I'm gonna go with fact.
Did they miss any of it?
No, I was trying to think of. No, that's fact. There might be a few things missing, but that's definitely fact.
I thought mellotron was super cool. It was like
I have recorded and played with a mellotron before.
Beautiful.
And it's an amazing instrument. Very outdated and very
Yeah.
But there's nothing sounds like it.
No. Any prog rock fan will tell you how amazing a mellotron is.
Or any Beatles fan.
Oh my God, yeah, absolutely. It says that growing up, it describes you as reclusive and introverted.
Fiction.
Oh, really? Okay.
Fiction for sure.
I wonder why. Oh, whatever. Can you describe what you were like growing up?
Well, I was in my first band when I was, I think it was in the 6th grade. I was not reclusive, and I was a little bit introverted when I was very young because I'd knocked all my teeth out and had replaced, and I had some speech issues. I still do, obviously. I was riding my bicycle and I flipped over the handlebars and landed on the curb with my face.
All right. Well, yeah. Then I guess that's a normal childhood thing. Falling off your bike, but smashing your teeth.
It was pretty tragic, but I was not. I was not reclusive, and I was definitely not introverted.
At least it was your baby teeth, right?
Some of them were, some of them weren't.
Oh boy. All right. Well, your teeth look wonderful now.
Thank you.
It says that your grandmother began teaching you to play the organ when you were young, and as you said, before you were out of elementary school, you formed small local bands.
Fact.
So, like, with these bands, were you writing original stuff all the way back then?
We were. We
Really?
were, but we made our money and we got our gigs by playing cover songs.
You made money back then?
We actually got paid to play
That
music.
is insane.
I've been playing music professionally since I was 12 years old.
Tell me you were playing the bar scene.
We started playing bars when we were 15.
Okay. Yeah, you hear about that. But, yeah, back when you're that young, you're playing...
It was kind of a gimmick, I guess. I think people you get those kids to come play, you know?
Totally.
My mom managed us for a brief period of time, but we would tour around. We're kind of based out of Colorado, and yeah, I've been doing it for a very long time.
Cool. It says that you met the original lineup of Guns N' Roses in 1985 while your band, The Wild, was rehearsing in a neighboring studio.
Fact.
Okay. So this was the first time that you had met Guns N' Roses? Did you know who they were back then?
Just their reputation around town was pretty big at that time.
Okay.
Cool. So yeah, I knew who they were, and we all knew who they were. But I hadn't met them, and met Steven first. We were actually moving out of a smaller studio into the bigger one next door, and so it was in this thing called the Recycler, which is like Craigslist.
Oh yeah, of course.
But it was before.
I've heard
before the
those guys
internet,
talk
basically.
about that before, yeah.
And so the manager of the place had put it up, that it was available for rent. So we were sort of in this transitional period, and we were hanging out in there, and Steven walked in to look at it, and so we met him, and then the rest of the band came later, and then I met Axel later after that, and all in that same room. And then we lived next door to each other for about 6 months.
Double Talk and Jive. The opening line of the song, found a head and an arm in a garbage can, refers to body parts Izzy Stradlin actually found in a dumpster in the vicinity of the studio.
I, honestly, I don't know. So I'm gonna have to go with fiction.
I mean, if it's fact, you have to know that happened. You'd think that someone would mention that, especially if you're in the studio. Hey, I found a dead body outside when I was taking out the trash.
Yeah, he's kind of a mysterious character, but
That's true.
I'm just gonna go with fiction because I don't know,
Okay,
and I don't want any fucking part of it, to be honest.
You weren't a part of it.
No, I was not.
It says that My World was written and recorded in 3 hours under the influence of magic mushrooms.
That's fiction. That's fiction.
Okay.
I wish that was true. I don't know. Maybe it is true. I got to go with fiction. I don't remember any mushrooms being involved.
Okay, fine. We'll say fiction for that one. I thought this was interesting. It said you toured with Alice Cooper in 2002.
Fiction.
No, okay. Did you work with Alice at all, or?
Never. Other than no, and just indirectly, because he sang on a song called the Garden.
All right, no touring with Alice Cooper.
That is fiction for sure.
That would have been fun, I'm sure. But it says in 2005, you took the unusual step of seeking admission to a college fraternity well after the traditional age of inductees. And on January 22nd, 2006, you were admitted to the Cornell University chapter of Zeta Phi.
That is fact.
That's fact, okay.
Yes.
So what is it exactly that inspired you to want to join a fraternity?
They called me and asked.
Okay. Wow, okay, so they just call a guy from Guns N' Roses and say, hey, you want to pledge?
Yes.
Wow.
So I'm actually I'm Zeta Psi.
Still a legacy.
Ivy League.
I know, not a bad school to be a part
No,
of.
it's not.
Was there any, did you go hang out with those guys, or was it just...
No, I was there.
Damn.
But a lot of people don't know this, but I'm actually part of a sorority too, the Pi Phis.
See, now that is a much better
in Blacksburg.
idea. That
Myself and Duff McKagan and Gilby Clark.
They're all part of a sorority too?
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
We were sworn into a sorority. That was back in '92. So I'm actually a member of a sorority and a fraternity, and I've never went to college one day in my life. Thank you.
Was this at Cornell too?
No, that was at Virginia Tech.
Oh, wow, okay. Tell me they couldn't have hazed you guys. They must have been nicer than that.
The sorority?
Either sorority, fraternity.
There might have been some hazing going on. I don't know.
A little bit. Is it secretive?
No, there's no hazing involved whatsoever.
They're inviting you to be there. They can't smack you with paddles.
No
make you
hazing.
eat goldfish and stuff.
I think there's a statute of limitations on hazing. I don't even know what that means, actually.
Yeah. Chinese Democracy was reportedly near completion in mid-2000 when Roy Thomas Baker convinced Axl to re-record the entire record.
That is fiction.
That's fiction. Okay.
Although he was involved, I don't know if it was him that did the convincing or whatnot. I think part of that is fiction. So I'll just say fiction.
Fiction. So you think it was more Axl's decision?
I'm not going to say that either. I'm just going to say that what you have said there is fictitious.
When Guns N' Roses was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, you were part of the induction, but you decided not to attend the ceremony.
That's fact.
That's fact?
Mm-hmm.
Why not attend the ceremony?
There were some weird things, weird issues. One of the things was they told me I had one guest I could bring.
You can only bring one guest.
Yes, well, I could and then purchase tickets for other guests, which is very expensive tickets, and I couldn't afford it.
Extremely, yeah.
So
we've heard a lot.
Should I bring my mom and not my dad? My brother and not my wife?
Dude, that's
my daughter, not my son. I couldn't deal with that. That was one thing, and then another thing was there wasn't the current members of Guns N' Roses weren't
sure, they weren't included
weren't invited, and
they
that
weren't
was
even invited to be there.
They weren't to be included, and that just kind of weirded me out.
Former Dead Daisies singer John Stevens performed for a while with casts on his hand and leg as a result of an injury sustained when escaping from a crocodile while on a fishing excursion in Australia.
That is fact.
That's fact. Yes, amazing. Please tell me more about that if you know any details.
What more do you need to know?
I want to know what the hell he's doing with crocodiles.
He was fishing.
Like, I hope on a boat?
I think they were, I wasn't there, but I think they were on some rocks, and they were fishing for these giant, like, lobsters things that are like this. They're prehistoric looking.
Damn.
And, I guess crocodiles like those too.
As well as people, apparently.
Yeah.
It's like, I used to live in
Crocodiles
Australia.
love people.
Yeah. I used to live in Australia. I would never get, like, anywhere near. But they don't kill that many people. But, damn. Is he doing okay? Was he all right after?
He survived it, yes.
Well, yeah, he sure survived it. Well, I mean, like, I hope the injuries weren't that bad.
Well, they were pretty bad because it was a very remote place. So for him to get to, get his necessary help, it took a long time, and so like infection sort of sets in at that point.
Oh.
And, but he's a tough mother, man.
Oh my God.
Got through it.
All right. Well, you made it, buddy. Good job. Fantastic. Thank you so much, Sissy, for stopping by. Thank you for playing our game. Dead Daisies, absolutely check him out. And of course, Guns N' Roses. Stay tuned to Loudwire for all your news about those bands and Dizzy's solo stuff as well. Thank you very much. Dizzy Reed, everybody.
All right.